LUDIBROLO or HIMARI? I feel like LUDIBROLO has been kind of pushing quite a bit. He's probably the player that I feel like has been slightly more winning, but
I guess you're
as we all know from Disaster members just in general, they're all very powerful.
That's right. And interesting today on the European side of things that everybody's okay with playing against these Runecraft lists. They're just like, you know what? Daria, fine. Neutral Runecraft, fine. Whatever, we'll play against them.
They'll do it. You don't think they'll do, but they do.
That's right.
You don't think Daria B is the way that it is.
But it do.
But it do. Alright. Well, neutral rune versus Daria rune, and we'll see which one bests the other. Keep in mind, HIMARI, interesting that he has Into the Looking Glass as well. What could that be for? Into the Looking Glass. It's kind of very similar to Magic Missile in a sense, where you just get 2 play point, 1 card draw. I don't know if the effect of turning cards into neutral does anything, but we'll see. LUDIBROLO currently trying to figure out how to transition into the mid to the late. And I think for neutral rune it is a little different than neutral forest, right? Because neutral forest has a bit of removal that it can lean on, whereas neutral rune has much more card draw and card advantage.
Well, it's also got different, things it can do in the mid game. It's got the Felices, you know what I mean? Like, it's just a different push. Like, it's looking to tempo the game in a different way, whereas neutral forest is kind of like looking to play that slow, relaxed control game. Neutral forest has these combos that just keep pushing damage. So it's a slightly different, aspect to gameplay, but I think the neutral rune deck, the benefit that it does have, like you said, just more card draw.
All right, my favorite, the Shining Bellringer Angel. We should get new pins. So we've had this old Bellringer Angel pin.
Yeah, we've got the old busted pins. We need some new hotness pins. Yeah.
Hey, when you're down at PAX East, be on the lookout.
I'll try. I mean, they got a ton of merch that they're selling there. Hopefully they got some pins for us.
Yeah.
I've got some big, pins, like those big circular ones. I don't think that works too much on Desta. It's very distracting.
We should. You know what? Bring it.
Bring it?
Bring it.
All right. Big pins it is. But yeah, I'm sure there's going to be a ton of cool stuff. I mean, they've announced that they're going to, and we'll talk a little bit more about this later, guys, but they're going to be having so much merch there. They've never had anything for sale before. They're going to have so much on sale this time. You should definitely make it out to PAX East if you're close.
Yeah. PAX East is going to be a ton of fun. So definitely show up.
Just do it.
Do it.
Do it. All right, HIMARI had his Daria early, has a giant Chimera that he might have to throw away this game. Not exactly what you're looking to do.
Good boosting. Oh, don't throw away the Chimera. Don't do it.
He might have to with this hand.
It's one of.
It's a little too early. That's like the benefit of playing a one of. You don't normally draw it early, but if you do, then the option's gone. So
yeah.
Did you like it?
Never to be seen again. I wish there was a card that could just give you a Mystic Ring.
That's true. Every once in a while, you do want them. I'm still surprised in decks like this that it's not just a one of. So at the beginning of the format, even the White Wolf decks were playing one Mystic Ring just so they could put a King Elephant back. They could put something back if they didn't need it. And Daria fits in even better because it spell boosts. And I just don't see it very much. Like, it's great. Like, every single Daria game we've ever seen, it's like, oh, they just drew their Blade Mage, or oh, they just drew their Ogler. Like, put it back in your deck.
Yeah.
Draw a new card, spell boost, and then Daria. You know what I mean? It's an interesting tech choice that I don't see a lot of players running. And I think, especially after rotation hits, possibly it could be better because there's going to be a lot more clumpier of a draw. You know what I mean? Like, things are going to slow down a little bit, so we'll see. But Mystic Ring is definitely a card I think combo decks should think about when they're building their decks, even though we don't see it very often.
It kind of does two things: rearranges your combo as well as gives you more opportunity to land the cards that are appropriate at the time.
Like, what feels worse than drawing both of your King Elephants when you're playing your White Wolf Forest deck? It's a terrible feeling. Imagine you could throw one back the turn you play White Wolf. You know what I mean?
I wonder, does Mystic Ring ever, does it draw first and then throw it back?
No.
Thank God.
No. You get to remove it, and then you get to draw your card.
It's also the age-old question of mulligans, right? Does it redraw before it throws your cards back?
No, that's definitely not. I've redrawn the same cards many times in this game.
But were they one-ofs?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. It can happen, my friend. It can happen. There have been times where I've mulled 3 1-ups and gotten them all back before.
Wow.
I've played a lot of Shadowverse, though, so everything is possible.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's great. You have some great fortune.
I don't think that's what we're going with. Well, I'll take it. I'll take it. All right, so Daria filling up the board here for HIMARI.
Goodbye.
Saying, this is my mid-game.
Gets a Flame Destroyer.
Redraw's not that great, but honestly, this Daria board's pretty good by itself.
Should have saved it for the Giant Chimera. Now Karma is coming for HIMARI.
Right? Giant Chimera's like, why have you forsaken me? This is a great setup turn for LUDIBROLO into a Sahaquill turn because it doesn't have any great options for Sahaquill yet. He's going to draw a bunch of cards off of this Bellringer Angel here.
Thinking about it more deeply, even if you did save the Giant Chimera, you're going against Ginger.
Yeah.
Where turn 9 happens first for LUDIBROLO, so it's like, okay, you get Giant Chimera into a bunch of Zeuses or whatever it is.
Yeah,
right?
you can do whatever you want. There are 2 decks where you're not happy to have Giant Chimera, and that's Havencraft when they have an Aegis in play, and that's Word Wielder Ginger when they play an entire board full of things. Your Giant Chimera goes from, oh yeah, to, oh no.
And then you slowly back away.
Yeah, exactly. Ooh.
All right, Bellringer Angel, no attack, but setting up quite a good defense. And the card draw.
Yeah, card draw's super nice. Honestly, I almost feel like this card is better in the decks that it's run than the 2-drop Bellringer Angel because of the extra card draw. It's a 1-for-2 draw as opposed to a 1-for-1 draw.
And the 4 defense can make a lot of difference, right? Especially if it accompanies other followers.
Yeah, it could be big enough to where people have to evolve over it, which is extra resources you're pulling out of it. So it's kind of like 2.5 cards sometimes.
Yeah. Now, the one thing that we haven't seen on the Shadowverse Open yet, I think, is a Bellringer Angel ending the game.
That's true. We've never seen that. I don't think we'll see that anytime soon. And
Please.
LUDIBROLO's still not any great options here.
Tilting at the Windmills Bellringer Angel.
Ooh. There we go. I'm going to play this, deal no damage, and draw 2 cards. What's up?
Evolve it.
You know what? With Draconic Fervor leaving the format, maybe that's the new tech. Maybe you just have to play stuff like Bellringer Angel if you want to draw cards. That might be a possibility. I'm not going to put it past a tilting deck.
Fate can't withstand me.
Okay.
I lost?
Remains with 1 defense. Which is quite nice.
Quite nice. No Magic Missile or anything like that in the hand for HIMARI, so we'll have to run something into this. No Evolution Orbs either means that Magic Owl's probably going to have to go in.
Neither of which feels very good.
No. But has a lot of wards to fall back on.
Yeah. Is there a world where you just throw the owl in and then just ward up and have the Flamethrower go face?
I think that's the only world we live in right now. I think
what
that's
if
it.
You don't swing anything?
Well, that's not the real world, Rainy, okay? You got 2 followers, you make use out of them. Yeah, I think it's just ward, 7 to face, and then if you can play one of the Oglers, do it. And unfortunately, with the wards, it makes it impossible for a Sahaquill combo to touch that Flame Destroyer, which is really, really rough for LUDIBROLO.
You can actually gain both. Wow. Okay, he's going for the Conjure Guardian.
Okay, going for the bigger ward here.
Interesting.
Basically just to help protect against any type of shenanigans
Oh,
from
boy.
Israfil.
Okay, well, you've got Sahaquill, but there is no Israfil. Felice will do quite a bit of damage. Good, nice, thank you.
Nice. Oh, good times. And
Where's the caffeine?
I still have to question, why are we not banning Daria? We've talked about this so many times.
Yeah, yeah. It's tough. I think in this particular scenario, right? You're stuck in a rock and a hard place. HIMARI, I think, if you feel like White Wolf Forest, which I think is pretty good against neutral Rune, is pretty good against Shadow, I think you're kind of honestly, no matter what you ban.
It is a hard place. In my mind, though, there are decks that you can make, like, okay, so for instance, White Wolf Forestcraft, you know how the deck plays. It's not going to do anything out of the ordinary. It's going to play exactly the way you feel like it's going to play, right? Daria is not a deck that you can account for on any given turn. You don't know if it's going to pop off on turn 4, turn 5, turn 6. You don't know what it's going to pop off into. You don't know what their hand redraw is going to be. Like, there's just too many unknowns for me. And if I'm thinking I want to win a competitive style tournament, I want to eliminate as much of the unknown as I possibly can.
You know, they say for people who utilize oracles or whatnot in war or combat, when you look into the future, that doesn't change your future. It just helps you understand if you will be defeated.
That's very bleak.
If I look into the future, then all I will see, Exo, is my continually losing in Shadowverse. It won't help me win. It'll just make sure that I know that I will lose.
You know, I mean, that's one philosophy. I don't support it. I don't support it at all. People say a lot of things. You don't have to believe a lot of it.
There's no hope.
There's no hope.
Nothing you do matters.
Yeah, these are terrible philosophies. Do not listen to Rainy, okay? There are much more positive outlooks that you can follow. The world is not a bleak place. As a matter of fact, life is the most beautiful gift that has ever been given to anything, ever. Okay? And you should use it wisely.
There's also always an end to every beginning.
That's not true. We're getting into philosophy right now. But technically, there is no end or beginning to the universe. We don't know for sure. We can only make guesses.
We'll see.
Or time, for that matter.
We'll
but anyway, back to Shadowverse. The infinite realm of philosophy we can leave to the side right now.
Got a bunch of skull rings.
Yeah,
Necro Assassin is not what you want to be doing.
The curve, not exact. Like you're looking for Prince Catacombs here, not finding them. So the board is going to be hard to basically just keep a hold of, especially with Ludibrolo's hand. Ludibrolo has a few Felice in hand. He's got the Hector in hand already as well.
Yeah. Got a lot of interesting options, but nothing that you would really want on Himari's end, right? There's no Demon Eater, no Andrew Alphas, no Catacomb.
Oh, wow. There's a ton of board control from Ludibrolo right now.
Well, that on top of card draw.
Well, the neutrals are kind of slim, but I don't think that matters against Shadowcraft because all of their followers are pretty tiny.
You're controlling the board while gaining a 3/6, which is very tough for Shadowcraft to deal with. He has one Necro Assassin, but after that he's just going to be spamming zombie parties. And that's desperation.
That is desperation.
There's no party that's going to be happening. Stop promoting it.
What is a zombie party?
Did you ever send flyers around, like, when you were in college or whatever, for, like, events that you're doing and just nobody cared?
Wow. More bleak. More bleak,
That's what this is like with Zombie Party. He's just going to have to be using Zombie Parties back to back, but...
That's fair. So, like, you
can't
go around your college campus and you're like, hey, everybody, I'm throwing a zombie party. Dress up like a zombie. We're going to eat brains. It's going to be a fun time.
Yeah.
And then nobody showed up.
Nobody shows up.
Okay.
You literally have confetti and little banners and decorations everywhere.
For a zombie party, do you have banners and decorations?
Fruit punch.
I feel like you'd have different decorations for that type of party.
For a zombie party?
Yeah, like fake dead bodies.
Zombies like colors and confetti too. I'm sure.
I don't think so. I don't think zombies care about anything other than brains. At least from the lore that we know. Yeah, zombies could be intelligent people that we don't know what the real ones are yet.
I'm a zombie. I'm fairly convinced. I'm quite dumb.
Somebody help me. All right, so yeah, Felice is still pretty good on this board. I mean, the stats alone just kind of say, hey, deal with me or ignore me. Very hard to deal with. Hector coming down on this board basically means that an entire board trade will have to happen unless an Evolve goes over it or a Necro Assassin. Use some resources.
This Andrew Alphas has to pull some very key cards. It's gotten the effect onto an Ector, an Aisha, and a Necro Assassin, which is not the best.
Not bad, though. Just the fact that he drew the Andrew Alphas before his evolution points were out. You know, he had the chance to use them. Very good. Didn't have the option before. I think that will help him a lot. And now that he's got a board, like the Skull Rings did help him produce a wide board, which Neutral Rune does not have a big board wipe, so
Yeah.
Ludibrola in a kind of a tough spot in this
You're
mid-game here.
done for.
Only the Felice would be able to spread the
No
extra
cracking.
damage.
No looking back.
Now that would be a card. If Felice did 1 damage divided for how many neutral cards you had,
Yeah.
that would be crazy. Gets the Andrel.
Dawnbreak Night Edge. Make it.
I'm in. I'm in. Make the change to Felice. Just deal damage to everything. They already adjusted her once.
Yeah.
I don't think they're gonna do it twice.
That's right. Felice needs to have the enhanced auto evolve.
Yeah, enhance for 7. Automatically evolve. Felt really good. And that was around the same time that Grimnir still did face damage, I believe, if I'm remembering correctly. Maybe
Is
not.
that right? I don't think. I think Grimnir. Grimnir face damage took 2 expansions. I think.
I think so.
Well, it lasted the whole first expansion.
yeah,
And then at the end of the second
at
expansion.
the end
after
of
that, it
So I
got
think there was a
taken away.
time where it was. I'm not sure,
Man,
though. I'm not
I
100%.
wonder,
Fact check me, chat.
You're
I wonder who has the best history knowledge of Shadowverse patches.
The internet.
No.
The internet.
The internet, the hive mind.
That for sure. Okay. Well, Necro Assassin gets dropped. There's still card draw available, and it's still a pretty wide board, and Ector is available.
Yeah,
So
this
that's
is
very
tough.
good.
And we don't see the Israfel option for Ludibrolo. I mean, the Sakwa into Israfel combination to kind of deal with this board easily, and it's still a couple turns away.
Interesting. Did Himari swing with a skeleton face? 'Cause I feel like if he did, he probably should have evolved it.
Saving the last evolution orb when your opponent has 2 is, I think, kind of mandatory. I don't know if you're allowed to use that last evolution orb unless you know you're winning the game immediately.
You could just close it out, though. Right?
I think it's a rule. I think it's a rule. You just
It's a
can't-
rule?
Yeah, it's a rule. You just can't do it.
Okay, I've been breaking the rules a
Yeah.
lot.
It's not a real rule, but realistically, if your opponent has 2 evolution orbs left and you've used all of yours, it puts you in kind of tough spot unless you absolutely know the game is going to be over.
Are you? Did Ludibrola just lose?
It won't be long now.
If he takes down both the skeletons without last words. Is it 2 plus 6? Okay, yeah, of course. Duh.
Quiet.
For some reason, I thought that had a catacomb effect on it.
2, 3,
2,
4,
3, 4, plus
6,
6.
12. It's only 12.
12 in evolve.
Mhm.
2, 3, 4, 6.
12 total.
Is my brain correct? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 plus 6, 10, 12. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
There you go. We got there. But a Prince Catacomb coming down kind of solidifies it over the course of 2 turns. There's not really much that Ludibrolo can do, even with the Sahakwil combo at this point. So, rough. This is rough.
You even have the choice of zombie party.
Yeah, I mean, he can do anything here, realistically. All of his options are wide open. This is kind of the negative side effect of playing these neutral decks, is that they have big, beefy followers in it, but they cannot deal with a lot of smaller followers hitting the board early in the game.
What are you hiding inside?
Oh, man.
Oh, he's going for the full board. I don't care.
The next
Move.
batch will be tastier.
Yeah.
The next batch will be tastier.
The next patch will be tasty.
So essentially, the only way Ludibrolo can survive here is if he doesn't play something. Which I don't think is going to happen.
Yeah, I don't know if you can afford to. What
Well-
are you going to play for if you don't play anything? It's a good
The
question.
Hector will be enough to survive. The way HIMARI played, he didn't deal any face damage last turn, and said he decided to trade with the entire board, so it's not necessarily lethal this coming turn. And there is an Evo Happy Pig that could happen here.
I would probably say the Evo Happy... yeah, I would say the Evo Happy Pig into Lurching Corpse and then the Hector.
Yep, I like that play a lot, actually. Go back up to 16, clear out 2 of these followers, put up a 4/4 ward, protect yourself for a little bit here.
He has the Evolution Orb, right? So if he takes it, there's 4 skeletons, 1 open spot, and a 4 defense ward, which means that if you play the Ector and evolve, that's 4 damage plus 8. It's 12, but you're at 16. Yep. You live another turn.
Yeah, I believe the way HIMARI played was safer, but it takes longer to win the game, which I don't know if you really want to do against neutral Runecraft. But it's not like he's in a bad spot anyway. And you can see... What?
Interesting.
Okay. So he did the whole, all right, you locked your board. I'm not going to let
Yeah.
you play the Ektar. I'm going to get an extra turn out of this for free.
But what are you waiting for is my question.
Right. What is the payoff here?
Is there any way for you to drop a card that will close out the game?
I mean, realistically, unless Himari devotes an evolution orb to this, technically Ludibrolo can get away with not playing something next turn as well. But without the evolution orb left, you can't even play the Israfil. You know what I mean? And then get high value out of that. So maybe that's just what he's hoping, to draw something like a Sakuel to wipe this entire board.
No.
Definitely the best way to do it. Into Aisha territory now.
Mm-hmm.
That evolution orb could have just changed. Oh!
He got it. This is what he was saving for. Sometimes you got to play to win. You got to play to your outs.
No.
Ludibrolo did a pretty good job here. I like that. I like that little chain of events that just happened.
So what is the aftermath? You're left with one skeleton, right?
Mm-hmm.
Fighting is so cruel.
And then the Ektar is going to bring you 2 zombies.
Fighting is
Skeleton
so
might be able to hit for
sorrowful.
3. But you need to, you're not on the play, so you're chasing your opponent, so Aisha's going to come down, so
Before the Zeus, yeah.
yeah.
But there are 2 Hectors in the hand for Ludibrolo right now. So he's got ways to prevent himself from at least losing immediately to an Aisha. But he's also got to deal with his Ektar body that's left over as well.
Hector, fall from grace and start draining. One at a time.
Yep. And Fall from Grace, what a backfire card all weekend. It's been sitting in the hand for every person who's been playing it, just never getting any use. All right, and this only puts Himari down to 7
Fall from
shadows.
grace makes a 1/3, right?
Yes.
So he could technically fall from grace the Hector here, and then Hector the Hector.
Hector the Hector. He can, yes. That might be a good option. Unfortunately now, the Lurching Corpse doing what it does best and being this big, annoying nuisance, I don't think there's anything that Ludibrolo can do about this board.
Yeah.
I mean, he made that cool play of drawing into the Sakuel to give himself an out, but Himari
What
just
does
has
the
too many
Illusionist
things.
give you?
Illusionist at the moment would give you a Sakuel, I believe, which is definitely not good enough.
Mm-hmm. Man, that last evolution orb was big, I think. Having to sink it into the Happy Pig.
Yep. The game plan, worked as much as it could for him, but there's nothing really to fall back on here, which is unfortunate.
Yep. 1,
Did
2,
some
3,
work.
Aisha.
Thank you.
Thank you. Oh no.
Ludibrolo says, "You like my play?"
This is it. Himari already 1 game up means that this Aisha will close it out and send Ludibrolo down to the losers bracket.
These have been some quick matches. A lot of 2-0s today to start things off.
Looks like
Himari moves on. Himari currently is preparing for DreamHack.
Is that
Gonna
right?
be at DreamHack Tours France. So I believe we're given word from Disaster that Onion Sheep and Himari would be there alongside Ludibrolo as well.
Okay.
Actually. So all the people involved.
If you want to meet some Disaster members, maybe, make some networking connections, something like that. I mean, DreamHack's going to be a